Well, here he is, folks, on the fan. I almost feel like I should have brought along a Penrith Dada uniforms jersey, but now Manly assistant coach, Mr. John Cartwright. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, the fold-out chair, we do like to go all over the place with the interview. And I want to start with an incident from your career that you have to confirm. Did you once punch a teammate in the face during a game?
Well, that...
Because I'm here to say we've got video evidence that damns you.
I probably picked the wrong bloke to do it to, but I'd actually forgotten about it, and I think some of these things get a rerun on social media.
Yes.
I'm not huge on social media, but my kids are. Well, I'm actually not on social media, but my children are, and yeah, that gets a rerun every couple of years, and yeah.
The Broncos.
Yeah.
Tussle with Andrew G. Viewers are waiting to see who you actually punched in the face.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's forgot by now, but it was MG. And I
think, of all the people, Mark Geyer.
Oh, it was the dumbest,
right in the button.
Dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
Swing, got him. There we go. Mark Geyer.
It was priceless, how he reacted to it, because he realised where it come from, and I'm sure he wanted to go after me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Thank God he realised we're on the same team.
Now, here's another one out of left field. From your career, you meet so many people. Do you remember meeting Jason Donovan?
I actually do,
well,
yes.
There you go.
Yes, it was a kangaroo tour.
Yes.
I'm not sure. The test match was at Wembley.
Yes.
And there was a bit of a...
photo opportunity.
Yeah, you know, I was a bit of a Neighbours fan in the day. And
there you go.
they were trying to get some publicity for the game, and Neighbours was huge in England at the time.
Wow, of course.
And they didn't know.
And there you are, John Cartwright, Jason Donovan. And the last of the unusual questions, John. You're an untidy footballer, if you don't mind me saying. Did you ever play with your socks up? Or was it just permanent that the socks were down? And why was that?
I don't know. I think it happened once in a pre-season game. It was about, stinking hot day wherever we were, and just the heat got the better of me. I rolled my socks down, and it felt better. So I think from that day on, I left the socks down.
Well, let's get serious on the career now, because it is a Cartwright dynasty associated with Penrith. You're born to play in Penrith. You're born and bred there. Your late father, patriarch of the club, Merv. 3 brothers play first grade, a nephew, a son. It's an incredible story.
Yeah, it is, mate. You've got to pinch yourself sometimes and realise how far we do go back and how we still are involved. I think it's been it was a privilege to play there, and for all respect for all my family, for the opportunities that it gave us all in life. I remember going there as a kid to watch Penrith play. In the games sometimes weren't that flash. We weren't, they were struggling, and me and my mates there wasn't enough people there to stop us playing football on the hill, So
when it was Penrith Park, it was called Penrith Park. That's what it was.
And we had one grandstand, and we had hill all around the field, and we used to get up there and kick the ball around and slide down the back of the hill as all kids do. Well,
one feature of your game when you're at the very best was the John Cartwright offload. It was masterful. Was that a skill that you always had, or was that something you learnt and developed?
I think learnt and developed. We used to spend every day playing football in the backyard, and that's not an overestimation or making it up. We would spend every day playing footy in the backyard. So
with 3 competitive brothers as well.
3 older brothers, and that was probably something in my favour. And any neighbourhood kid that was running around, and daylight saving was a godsend, because you got to, you were still out there at 9 o'clock at night till Mum called you in. So I don't think you can underestimate what that does for you. I think that's really where you learn your craft, and you learn to try things, and if something works, you stick at it. And I think that's where it all started for me. I had a huge growth spurt about 16 or 17, and I think come along in a game, and then it worked, and I worked hard on it.
The biggest moment of the first grade career, 1991, Penrith's first title, and you're a part of it. Born to play for Penrith, and then you're there for their first grand final. How vivid are the memories of that day?
I remember little bits and pieces of it, as clear as though it happened yesterday. One thing I remember about that grand final is, most games, all I remember is being how fatigued I was and how tired I was. I cannot remember for 1 second in that game feeling fatigued.
Is that right?
Or tired. I don't know what it was, whether I was and just don't remember it, but I can honestly say it was one game where I thought I did have the energy to go and do what I felt like. I wish I could have bottled it and kept it.
A little bit on the rep football career, just on Origin. I do remember your Origin debut, game 189, Jack Gibson, and you were playing, arguably, I know there's been great Queensland sides, but this was a great side. 88,
Yeah.
89's an enormous era, those 2 seasons for Queensland, and you get thrust into the side. And then at the last moment, you get thrust into the front row as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And it's at Lang Park.
We had to play the Gold Coast on the Saturday, and we had to fly. It was at Newcastle. We had to fly up, and myself and Mark Geyer, he could have got me back that day because we had to fly up in this little 3-seater plane. I'd never been so scared in all my life. And we bumped into a storm, and anyway, we finally landed on the Gold Coast, played the Gold Coast on the Saturday, or the Sunday, I think, and then I was at the airport, and Ross Gigg come up to me, and again, like most blokes, when you're told you're in the New South Wales team, I said, no mobile phones. I said, you know, you're winding me up, Giggy,
Yeah.
please don't do that, you know. And then I got paged to the reception, and it was my dad on the phone at Gold Coast Airport.
Let's move from playing to coaching, because you've had great success. As an assistant coach, there's a couple of premierships there. As a head coach at the Titans, by gee, they'd love to have what you achieved now. You got the Titans to within a game of the grand final back in 2010. Has coaching been fun? Let me ask that question at you first of all.
When you sit down and look back on it, it's fun. You know, the times you have in and around the players, you know, and you look at what you could be doing if you weren't coaching. I think that's the thing you look at when you're not in the heat of the situation. The heat of the situation, awful, horrible. Like it just
Honesty.
It's. But when you look back on it, you know, the adrenaline rush you feel, they're the things you don't get when you stop playing, you know. And I think the nearest thing you can possibly get to playing again is being in that coach's box.
Well, can I say the coach's box with you when you're the head coach? I don't know whether the assistant coach has the same licence to boot home tries and that, but you as a head coach, I loved watching you in action because you were it's almost like we took you off the lounge chair and you booted home a try. You did show some emotion in the box.
Yeah, I think there's so much. As a young guy, assistant coach coming in to head coaching, it's all new, you know, and it is difficult, and sometimes you don't know how to react. And I think I got to a point where I said, you know, just be you, just let it hang out, you know.
Sure, I love it.
And it happened, and yeah, I get a bit stick about it, but you just can't say how much pressure there is on a head coach. It's you know, assistant coaching is a you know, walk in the park. As a head coach, you really do feel the weight of every fan, of every sponsor, you know, every member. Even if they don't like you, people in the street, you know, they have their say, and that's, you know, that's I suppose that's part of it. That's why the good's so good, and the bad can be pretty bad. Last
one for you, John. Rugby league's been pretty good to you, hasn't it? Like it has been your life. I said, you know, you were born to play rugby league. You were born to represent Penrith, but then your life has continued in rugby league to the point where I can't imagine you not being part of rugby league somewhere.
No, it has, mate, and it's been that way since the day I was born. You know, I was one of 5. I got a younger brother, but you know, my first memories are of sleeping on Dad's floor in his office at Penrith Leagues Club and sitting on the back of the tractor while he cut the field. You know, amazing for the game. So it has been a huge part of my life. Everyone, you know, it's sad to say, but all my friends, you know, pretty much come from rugby league. You know, family involved in rugby league, and yeah, it's just when you do stop and think back and wonder what I could be doing, I couldn't imagine it without football in it.
Well said, John Cartwright. Been a pleasure to have you on the fan and the fold-out chair.
Thank you,
John Cartwright. Met
Cheers.
Jason Donovan once too.
And Kevin Costner.
What? He looks like Kevin Costner.